Human-centered capitalism is the focal point of our video today, YouTube. Wearing my math hat. Went to a debate watch party last night and thoroughly impressed with the debates. It was pretty wild last night. It got pretty heated between a lot of the other guys, and I think that only did wonderful things for Mr. Andrew Yang. And the reason why I say that is, while everybody's infighting, he's gaining popularity exponentially online and across the board. So bringing him up is a really important thing to people you don't know. If they're not politically engaged, then fine, tell them to check it out anyway. I know you're not politically engaged, but how much more of an impact would your life, how much of an impact could $1,000 a month make in your life? People may not get political, but that can ring true to them. That can sit in their brain, and they can really think about that, how much of an impact it would make to them. But then also their local economy. You start to think, where's that money go after it's out of my hands and into another business? Is it gets circulated from the ground up. And I think that's the goal here, is to create a trickle-up economy, utilizing automation labor, and try to slowly get away from the taxation thing. I think taxes are something that can be of the past. And I know that everybody looks at the value-added tax as some evil thing, but we're talking about harnessing the means and production from robots, which are already producing products. Sure, somebody owns those robots, but it's not a person that owns the robots. It's a corporation of a board of people. We're not robbing from people here. Think harder. That's the problem here. And a lot of you libertarians aren't fucking doing it. And it's frustrating, because say what you want about your IQ, say what you want about intellect, but when was the last time you were wrong, or accepted that you were wrong, or were willing to be wrong? And the answer is probably not very often. I think most people in general, libertarian, Democrats, Republicans, we're obsessed with being right. But once you start accepting being wrong, it's like a release. It's like being born again, It's just this huge weight off of your shoulders, because you don't need to be right. Human life is about experience and learning, and you're not going to learn anything if you're already right and you know everything. So make America think harder. That's the thing for today. I think that people need to try to make themselves think more. They need to ask themselves hard questions. Ask themselves if something is politically partisan, like the video I put about Greta Thunberg. Yeah, Greta, everybody's favorite. I posted something after I was about to post something that I thought was a little, knee-jerk reaction. So I think the downside to that is that it comes off as, one way, when in reality, I think there's a lot of other things happening there. And I do think that, little things like the parents should be held responsible for putting their kid in a situation that is just going to be so, it's got to be tough for that kid to take all that attention. I can't imagine just being 16 and having that. We didn't have the internet and social media back then. But I think about it from a politically divisive standpoint. Everybody is really quick to be sensational and go off the handle about stuff, and we're not looking at it from an avid, perspective. Like Tulsi made a good point in one of her videos, saying that, the reason why she's not voting for impeachment is because it's not that she doesn't believe that Donald Trump is at fault. It's that she's concerned that the impeachment process is going to literally tear us apart at the fabric, and could just give him another, 3-4 years of presidency. All the impeachment doing is just empowering him, making him stronger. it's a concern, I think, that some people have. But I think we need to stop being so politically partisan and start getting together. Like, I have friends that are Trump supporters that I'm friends with. They're not bad people. They're not racist people either. They're not bigots. They're not any of those things. They may not be the most engaged when it comes to digging up factual information and data and metrics, but some of them are, and the ones that are arguing their point from different perspectives, and we need to try to go look at things from those perspectives. As much as we disagree with them, it's going to make you a better person if you can at least see where they're coming from. You don't have to truly believe anything from inside. I mean, shit, I was told to believe in God my whole entire life, and I've never actually felt it. And I've tried to rationalize it, and you can rationalize a lot. You can't always force it. So, I guess the point of my video today, is that it was a great debate, and I think that people are getting so scared and nervous that it's starting to actually weigh on even Yang Gang and some of these other guys is super positive. When in reality, things are going positively. And if we stay focused positive, then it's going to get better. Last night was a great debate. There's some things that could have been done a little bit different, but it's out of their control. The amount of time that was allotted was fair. Warren and Biden and Pete Buttigieg, made themselves look really bad, all three of them infighting. And it's just going to continue to get worse. Sanders, not so much, but still looked like he was going to pop at the seams. In the most calm and cool collected on that stage, the most presidential was Andrew Yang. Really, think about it. Out of all of those people, who looked the most calm and collected through everything, even with tough questions and stuff? I think that really, as time goes on, we're going to find that Andrew Yang is really the best case scenario to bring all of us together, to unite us, to provide a system that's really going to eliminate poverty entirely, without using socialism. That's the other thing is like, we're not doing what every other country does and slipping into social programs and socialism as the heavy weight. A dividend program is very, very different because it gives the money into the hands of people. It doesn't control production, means of production. Nobody's taking farms. Nobody's taking businesses. And that's exactly what happened in Venezuela. So when people talk about socialism and how this is a slippery slope into socialism, it's just fucking not. Capitalism has been around long enough for us to realize the pitfalls of certain types of capitalism, but it's not free market capitalism. Free market capitalism gives us the ability to buy and sell whatever, basically, without any intervention from the government. And, this is another time, another story, another video. But when we talk about monopolies and all of that stuff, just realize that monopolies happen because governments intervene, not because of free markets. If you leave things to be, you're not just going to have a bloated monopoly. And I know that's what people think, governments, are helping regulate that, but they aren't. They cause it. They're the cause of those things. And when you have a true free market economy where you can't have some rich conglomerate of assholes become a mob and basically, snuff out the small mom and pop that's making a better product or making something for cheaper and just giving them a run for their money, then you're going to have real free market capitalism where those companies, make an EpiPen for thousands of dollars, but then it doesn't sell because somebody makes it cheaper. The point is if it's free market, it can always be, the market will correct itself and can balance it out. The thing that the market does not correct is humanity and human life. It can't. It is a logic system, and it's based on logic, math, calculations. Human life is different. And although you could say the economy operates very similar to an organism, at the end of the day, there's a logic fault in that. And I think that's why it can't be abstract. But we're going on a tangent here. We have a bunch of times. The end of the day, the debate party went really, really well. And I think that we're going to find, as time goes on, that people are going to start losing footing against Yang because his message is consistent. He's not going anywhere. And even people like Tom Steyer, they just keep on going back to the climate change and stuff. Yeah, all right. What are you going to do about it? Because we ain't going to fix it. Not in 12 years, not in 3 years, not in 10 years, not in 100 years. The global climate is impacted by our, we've terraformed it with our carbon dioxide, but it's going to take a lot of energy to terraform this planet back. And this is way down, the road, Elon Musk discussion type stuff. But really, the best solution is for us to get to higher ground, start to make plans, and then start to move backward, because it's going to happen slowly. We don't do things quickly. We are humanity. We move at the slowest possible fucking pace to get anything done. So I'm going to leave you folks with this thought, rather. If the polls weren't being measured by landlines and all of that stuff, who do you think would be the front runner right now? And, Yang Gang, be reasonable here, because it's not likely that he would be in first place this fast. But Kerry was at fifth or 5% at this point. He ended up being the nominee back in 2004, and there wasn't anything like the internet to kind of change that game plan, which is very different for us. We have the internet, and it's powerful. Yang Gang, awesome. I'll see you guys later, and thank you so much for subscribing and liking. Have a great day.